Here, sign me in too.
Did you both sign in?
Yes.
Yeah, she signed me in.
Were you the ones that called earlier?
Yeah.
That's why I decided to go ahead and put it in the museum, because I had been buying the history of Vernon and Wilbarger County for probably 40 years off and on. Just,
Right.
yeah, because when I got back from Vietnam, I couldn't remember where anything was. So I'd ask people, they didn't know. So I said, hell, I'll just start collecting it.
There you go.
So would you like me to give you a tour? Would you like, and you can take all the pictures you want. This is the Maltese cross. This is the cross that Roy Orbison wore all the time. Roy Orbison was born here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got that one a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Well, I mean, where the hospital was.
right. Yeah, because I've got a list in there of all the places where he was born and all that stuff, and the name of his doctor.
No.
Because I'm working with the biggest historian on Roy Orbison, which is in Nashville, and he's a good friend of mine. I met him about 5 years ago, and I'm helping them with the museum in Nashville, which is just the Roy Orbison Museum.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So I can give you a short tour. You can just walk it, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Well, yeah, if you want to, go ahead. Do you
I
mind me
sure will.
videoing you?
I don't mind a bit.
Okay.
This is my church, is a school. This is a 1926 St. Paul Lutheran Church, and you can see the church there. And that's a 26, but this is the window out of a 1906 church. First Baptist Church, built in 1906. And you can see them setting the cornerstone for it, and the old courthouse in the background. And you talk about Roy Orbison being born here. Well, I have to go ahead and tell this part. This right here is L.G. Hawkins, and that's his cigar humidor. And the Hawkins School was named after him. And Obama's mother went to school there in the 4th grade. And she was here, they were here just the 1 year. Her dad worked for a hardware company, and her name was Stanley Ann Dunham. And here is the automotive. That's my dad, Jack Carey Savage. I was born a junkyard dog.
Oh, there.
And then
Well, you always got free parts, yeah?
this right here, I pointed out, I brought some people through. There's a 3D motor oil, which is Wagner's, and then Moore's Long Life oil, and there's both refined at the Wagner Refining Company in Electra. And a guy said, well, I have one of these near mint condition. And actually I had to buy it.
Yeah.
So without seeing it, I don't ask him how much. He told me. I paid him right then. And then as we was talking, he said, well, it's a 5-quart oil can. And I said, well, it's probably a grease can, because I never saw a 5-quart. But it was. It's it right there. It's a 5-quart oil can.
I've never
paid
seen
him for
one.
that. That's what I thought I was buying. And that one I've never seen, and nobody else has ever seen one.
Yeah, I've never seen
So
anything
it's
like
pretty
that.
much rarity. Now, when the pickers came through, they went and they ended up buying one thing from that Moore station. But I dealt with them 3 times before I ever put the museum in, and I never sold them anything, because I told them, one day I'm going to put it in a museum, and I don't know what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to sell.
Talking about those American pickers
Yeah.
on TV?
Yeah,
Well, cable.
yeah,
I
right.
watch that show when
I did,
with
but
my
you know, I'll
mom.
tell you what, the thing and the fun about that is sometimes they'll come up with something I hadn't seen. Because, see, we had an antique store for many years. That's how I started ended up buying some of this stuff without buying an estate. I'd pull the Vernon stuff out that I wanted, sell the rest. So, of course, we got the parking meters that used to be here. And this right here is the, every Sunday we used to have drag races out at the old Victory Field airstrip. They used to train the Army Air Corps here. And so this is the back patch off the Cavalier jacket. These are all Cavalier trophies from '57. And these are the different car clubs. But I mean, they came out of Oklahoma, I mean, everywhere, every Sunday. And we had the drag races. This over here is a lot of the hangouts. And like this rocket, it was an obstacle on the Puttery and golf course. And you had to knock either around it, you knock it under it to get to the hole, but then it made you tie it up, you know? And so I put the different places, the hangouts, and the bowling alleys, different bowling alleys that were here. And then you take that rocket, you go right up into the Rocket 88 Oldsmobile, and it goes right into the different car dealerships. And these are all little giveaways over here. Keychains, knives, whatever.
Oh, yeah. No,
they used to give away some pretty usable items.
I remember somewhere in Wichita they used to give cigarette lighters.
Oh yeah, see, there's a lot of different lighters.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
Actually, Barron Brothers used to give away pocket knives like those.
Yeah, you know, I mean, pretty usable items. I mean, some of these are pretty decent knives. And then, of course, this was on your tags. They called these tag toppers. And they would advertise on them. But you see them older cars, they'd be right above the tag on the back. And, of course, they advertised on cards. Robert M. Moore was big on advertising.
Cool.
Yeah, here's a lot of the little hangouts, the little Suzy Q Cafe. That's the first one. And then it moved different locations. Even was down here at one time. This is out what it used to, it's like everything else, it's what it used to be. Out at the Y, there's only one building left down on that Y. All of this beyond, the building that was about right here is the only thing left. So, while you're taking pictures, I'm gonna turn this on again. This plays all the time. Keep Orbison playing. See, here's that emblem right there he's wearing. And this guy here I ran around with. And his daddy and Roy Orbison's daddy both worked in the oil field together. So that's how I ended up with these guys. But me and him ran around together for a long time. Roy Orbison signed his hands. Love, Roy Orbison. I didn't know he even smoked until later when I was really researching him. You can see a cigarette right there. He smoked like a freight train, come find out. That's what got him, because his heart played out. This song here that the Everly Brothers did, he wrote for his first wife, Claudette. I know you've heard that song. And then this is his first 2 records on Sun. Then he went to Monument, then the MGM. And then Jerry Lee played here twice at the Sportatorium. And that's his Sun 78 speed, Great Balls of Fire. Hank Thompson played here several times. And they all played at the Sportatorium. All the big names played the Sportatorium because it was centrally located. It was kind of like my boys had in a band called Texas Jack. When we were on the road, you stop at little towns, put on the show to get gas money, food money, to get to where the big town is, where the money is. So, I know the music, love music, that is my game. To me, a day without music is a wasted day. And so, I mean, I'm serious. I'm going up till I go to sleep with music. This right here was the Flame. It was a honky-tonk. And it was, I guess, rough, because it says, dancing at the Flame. At the bottom line it says, couples only, which meant that kept the fights down. And this booth right here came out of the Flame. And I had to take it completely apart and get it in here, and then put it back together. Of course, that's the root beer stand. And like I said, this video right here, to me, is one of the best ones. It's a black and white night. And as you can see, he's wearing his... Over here then, when you went downtown, we also got him. Jack Teagarden, he was also born here.
I've never heard of him.
And he was, I didn't either, but after research, he is really big in the 20s. I mean, really ultra big. Now, when you used to go to the record store downtown, they had 3 booths like this lined up in Norsworthy's. You could go in and play the records to see if you wanted to buy them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to sample it first.
Yeah, it was just, you could go in. I mean, they were just cramming these things. There's the premier opening of it there, that poster up there. To the right of that, you can see one that says World's Best Vitaphone Movie Tone Talking Pictures. Vernon Theater, Vernon. Talking Pictures came out in 1927.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
It sure come a long ways now.
This deal right here is a folder that came out of, and inside there I need to get it open and print out the other stuff, because this was his promo. He sent this out to different towns so he could get jobs. I mean, that was his. Because the stories they told, how him and his wife were eating the sandwiches they made to take flour and water and try to make their own bread.
I heard the story, or I read the story on the sunglasses. So if it was right, it was talking about he had couldn't find his prescription glasses, and
you are correct.
And he just grabbed his prescription sunglasses.
Exactly.
And everybody kind of
from that point on, it was.
Yeah, it was his signature thing.
Yep. That's exactly how that happened. You're right. Oh, I've had people come through and they say, "Oh, I saw him back when he was blind." I mean, you hear all kinds of stories. I mean, really, this book here that was written, Dark Star, well, the 3 sons, which I'm straight in contact with, they wasn't really happy with that. And I'll show you, I'll show you right quick. This book in here, Roy Orbison's son sent me this one. Personally, this is my book. And all 3 sons signed it inside. And the guy that helped them write it also signed it.
That's cool.
And they sent that to me. And I stuck it in there for the time being, because every once in a while I get to look. But I'm going to take it on pretty quick, I think. And so I can really have the time to look at it. But yeah, I'm pretty close to being personal with them. Oh, that's another thing I want to show you. You can see it in this picture. That's Roy Orbison right there.
Which one?
That end one right there. That's Roy Orbison. Yeah. That's him on Parker School Ground.
There's another one.
Yeah, that's him on the motorcycle. Also, the Beatles used to open for him. Did you know that?
Huh. No, I didn't.
There they are, right there. See him in the Beatles, right there. They asked him one time if they could close the show, because they said, "You're making so much more money than we are." And he said, "I know that. That's why I'm going to go ahead and close my show." Yeah, I never get tired of it. I mean, he just, And here, this is the 1886 courthouse that was here. And this railing right up here, see, there it is right there. This railing is right here.
That's cool. Got a piece of history.
You hear them people, yeah, it's 1886, and you hear the people talking about the push tin ceilings being worth so much money, those ceiling squares.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
These cabinets right here are made by the same people. They came out of that 1886 courthouse. They are tin. And they are all pushed. All of this is pushed in, just like those ceiling squares.
Mm-hmm.
So what are these worth? Them ceiling squares are worth money. These books here are all marked. They came out of the next courthouse that was built in 1928. They tore down that courthouse. And let me show you right here. The tornado came through, took out the clock. So when they went back, they didn't put the clock back in. They lowered the dome. The railing's still there. But they tore this one down in 1928 and built this one.
Mm.
And then here's a hardware store. As you can see, this bump's Smart Wooden Company, Vernon, Texas. Embossed right on it.
Feed sacks.
And we got a couple of forges. That one blows air from the top. This one, when you pump the handle, blows air from the bottom. And then a bit of wooden washing machine.
Yep, there's your washing machine there.
If electricity goes off, you're good.
Right.
And then, so you put the heavier stuff and the light stuff in here. You come back and agitate it. It's got a nice ringer on it and a couple of cream separators. You get a lot of history out of the weirdest places, like all the shipping crates. That's J.P. McPherson and Son, William Cameron, Vernon Texas, nail keg, the Vernon hardware. I mean, there's history on everything if you can find it. I just got a box, a cardboard box. That sounds crazy, but it's cardboard. And a guy called me and he said, it's cardboard, but it's got Vernon on the flap. I said, oh yeah, so he brings it to me. And it's killer. I mean, it's a great. The fact is, I can show you a box in yonder as well. But it says Supreme Salad Wafers. That's crackers.
Mm-hmm.
See, they used to call the cookies on the boxes, they call them biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the Nabisco came from.
Ah, I did not know that.
And here's, like I say, there's a couple of cream separators. And that's a well bucket. You know how that one worked? Because you could drop it down the hole, fill full of water, you pull it out, crank it up, pull it out, hold it over the barrel, pull this handle on top, and release the water into the barrel. This Sumner Collie is still here. And this is their very first ticket writing machine. This is the thing that pickers, we got button heads over this because they told me they were going to buy it. I said, no, you're not buying that. And they said, yes, we are. I said, nah, what they talking now? You don't tell me.
Right.
First place, I knew this was going to the museum. And I mean, this was so rusty, I hand cleaned this with steel wool. And it's amazing because it cranked out 3 tickets, made 3 copies. And this was their first ticket writing machine in the 20s.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's cool. That's why they wanted it. Fact is, they had it on one of their advertisements. They thought they were really going to get it. Okay, this over here there's 31 black guys in this picture. They're on the largest wheat field in the state of Texas, which is out on the Wagner Range. And this little umbrella they kept their water under, a piece of it's right over there. It says T.A. Shive Farm Machinery. Now, I thought that came off of a tractor. That's the reason I had it over with that farm stuff. So I'm standing here, my wife says, well, that's Vernon. I said, I know it's Vernon. because of the photographer, D.P. Singh. She said, no, the umbrella. And I had to get a magnifying glass before I could read it. But it said T.H.I.
Huh.
But this right here is a 10.5 foot cotton picking sack. And it's been pulled through the red dirt here. And they made one twice that long. They called them a long white train. But when you was a kid, they'd start you off with a pillowcase, they'd sew a strap on it, then a tow sack, and you worked your way up. Now, we didn't pick cotton here. We pulled bows. Up north, they pick cotton. They pick it out of the hull. Mm-hmm. Here, we pulled the whole bow. I used to think it was a family reunion. All my aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody in the cotton patch. But the thing was, we just pretty much had a reunion when you got through working, you know. In my case, this would have been a child eater. My daddy would have wore me out with this. But it is a rope beater and a good heavy duty one. And of course, if you got a wooden washing machine, you got to have the wooden ice box. The big block of ice goes to the top. And then of course, cool goes down. Mm-hmm. People ask where the water goes as it melts, but there's a pan underneath there.
Drip tray.
Yeah. And it evaporates a lot of it. The rest they had to dump. Now over here I've got all the stuff from funeral homes. I've got undertaker supplies. Everything related to a funeral, including that guy right there, Beck Lawrence, that sold life insurance. And if you look at his motto, it says, call me while you can. But that's just a pretty good idea. And I got all the fire department stuff over here. Now when you think about this emblem right here, that is also the emblem for the fire department. That's the Maltese cross. And that's what the fire department used. Mm-hmm. You see that emblem on usually all of their patches and stuff.
Right.
Same thing.
Found this paper. Oh, sorry.
Well, let's take a quick break right here. If you are interested in old photographs of small town America, this is a book for you. The book has around 200 photographs with little history of each picture. To order your book today, please contact Mr. Carey at the phone number listed above. Now, back to our video.
Yeah, I used to love to fish. I hadn't gone in years. This is a hand crank meat slicer, and of course a chopping block, and a great meat sauce. Then you move everything over here to this counter. There's eggs, and this is all, like I said, everything in this museum is all Vernon and Wilbarger County. There's nothing from anywhere else. So that's what everybody's amazed about. Is that I didn't buy it here and there and young. I bought it all came from right here. And you can see them marked. Central Market, Vernon, Texas, Vernon caged eggs. And then this Indian right there, that square box, bottom line on it says Kickapoo Cleaner, Vernon, Texas. And then, of course, Wright's was here. Wright's packing for many years.
Yeah.
Well, there's the wiener, sausage, and ham labels from Wright's. But before it was Wright's, it was Triple E brand. That's what most people don't know.
Right.
It was Egbert E. Eggleston. Mm-hmm. Mr. Eggleston had a little mom and pop grocery store. Mr. Wright had the same. And their kids married. Became Vernon Meat Company. Mm-hmm. And that's the Triple E, Egbert E. Eggleston. And that's their largest and smallest lard cans. And that white one is a rarity because they brought it to them, asked them if they wanted to change colors because they'd used the red with white for so many years. And so that's the only one that was made, that white one. And all the cans in here, there's no barcode or zip code on any of those. That's probably not right. Here's the Bella Vernon flour. That flour sack. And where it was kale mill in an elevator, well, originally, and then later it was Kel Mill Elevator in Wichita Falls. Kel started off here, and then he moved to Wichita Falls, helped them bring in the railroad is the reason they named stuff after him. Now, Joe's Food was here forever, and this painted one right here, and then when they painted the whole building, they put that little white sign on it, and that white sign is right there. But before they painted the building at all, it was Lacey Hamrick. I hated it when they paint rock, but it was Lacey Hamrick, then Joe's Food Store. This is all, we had a lot of dairies here. And all the different milk companies is the Sanitary, the Triangle, it just, Cannon, it was just a world of dairies. That was a pretty neat one right there for that airplane, World War II. Most all of these are World War II. Then over here, the soda bottles, these are Coca-Cola bottles, of course, bottled here. Straight up and down. Say Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Then in 1915, they came out with the curved one. That's a 25, this is a 15. And these are Crown. So it's Crown and Coke, Key and Wilson. As you can see, there's Wilson Coca-Cola. And then Wilson made his own drink, the Wilson Cola.
Huh. I never heard of that one.
See, that's Wilson's right there, all the way through. And then this is a rare Dr. Pepper. It's embossed, where they later had to go back down into the bottle, because there's so little sticking out they would chink off when they'd put them in the deals, and they'd chip off the letters. So I dug this one out of a dump, because I've dug in Buffalo soldier camps, Indian camps, dump grounds, digging and sifting, and these bottles right here were bottled here in 1890. They're all soda bottles. That's where the word soda pop comes from. It had this little deal right here in them. Had a cork on it, and it stuck out of the bottle, and you didn't pull it out, you knocked it in. So when you knocked it in, it would make that popping noise.
Yeah.
And it was like soda pop.
Wow, that's cool.
Of course, then all the different deals. I'll tell you what's rare on these. You talking about them Wilson? I got all 6 caps right there. That's the one you won't find, because when they hit the ground, they turn to rust. There's certain things that people think is rare, but then you see another point that's even more rare because it just couldn't have survived. This was a kitchen, actually. This was the jailhouse. And that was living quarters back there. And this was the kitchen. And there was a dumbwaiter over in that corner, which I took out because I needed the room. But that's where they sent the meals upstairs. Now here, they sent the meals through this window, which I turned into that. But on the other side, I turned the window into my post office.
Oh, yeah?
Which turned out pretty good.
Yeah, that did.
Because I built all this under it, and none of it's really wood. And these little bell slots here came from Rodeo. And as you can see, there's Oka Union. No, Harold Oka Union, and Vernon's first one. And this is 1901 from Oka Union. Then this post office, we're down about right here. And down here on Cumberland, that's Cumberland and Wilbarger. On that corner was that post office. And in 1917, they built the other one over here we have now. This one. They built in 1917. Now this upstairs here is the first place that Roy Orbison ever sang. This was the radio station. This building's still there. It burned the top off of it. They never put it back. This is Bunch Norris now, this building is. But that's where he went down there. Robertson went down there for a little contest on a Saturday. He was like 8, 9 years old. He won the contest. And then he showed up every Saturday. Every Saturday he won first, so he showed up every Saturday. I want to sing. But these right here are pretty neat. Those are little 56 Cadillacs. And that little red one's a 54 Buick. And they're die cast. And all these banks are from different banks. But the little gun, when you shoot the coin off, it knocks his hat off and his arms fly up and the coin goes in the bank.
That would be neat.
And in this Wagner bank, you see the front of it, and inside you see that deal where you see safe deposit backwards.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's late 1930s, and it's right there above your head. It's all brass. And I found that in the dump ground. I found the first half in one dump ground, and about 2 weeks later I found another half in another dump ground. Put them back together. You do everything you do. But I did, this counter was where they checked them into jail. So at one time when I had all my bank cages, I was, in my thought when I was gonna do a museum, but I'd probably be hanging them down the wall. But then when I saw this counter, I said, no, there's my bank. So I built this in to hold my cages. This one here is all wood. Every piece on this is dated 1892. You got the same style as the old saloons. And it came out of this bank. That there, that big bank right in the center of that picture up there. Look down in the bottom right-hand corner of that picture. Do you see that set of tracks?
Yeah.
Alright, here they are. This is a piece of the track. There's the trolley car. Trolley car went from the railroad depot to the courthouse. Horse-drawn, just like the one in that, the shooters. Very same trolley car. And it went from the railroad depot to the courthouse. They'd unhook a horse, hook it on the other end, and take it back the other way. This is my grandpa back there in his mules. And this thing used to have a brush on each end, and it's got the triple D, not in, where Paul Wagner hung out. His little man cave out there, he's usually drunk. And they'd say, where's Paul? And they'd say, not in. Wouldn't lie. This little handful is in Vernon, Texas. It was dug up north of Electra, in what was the Wagner colony. And the guy was running his hand plow in the garden spot. He hit it, he thought it was a rock, he was going to throw it out in the garden. And there was that little handful. He called me from Electra, and I said, I'm going to tell you right now, you got me in trouble, son. You can just name your price. I really don't care what you charge me, because I'm going to buy it. He said, if you want it that bad, it's going to cost you nothing. He said, I'm going to give it to you. And since then, he has passed away.
Well, that was cheap enough.
Yeah, that's cheap enough. I got these little gas pumps. On the back of them, they got advertising from the gas stations between here and the lake. But I stuck them here with that little old car right there. When I found it, it looked like you took it and dipped it in a can of black enamel. And so I tried to strip it, couldn't. So I just dropped it in a can of stripper and walked off. Left it. I don't know how long I left it. Days. Went back and got it. When I washed it off, it washed the black off, but the green stayed, the original paint stayed. But it's killed a little old car.
Nah.
It's all cast iron. That little stake bed truck back in there is cast iron too. But those checks over in that counter right over there, they're all in the 1800s. You'll see one in there that says Wagner Banking Company. That's not the Wagner National Bank. You got individual bankers. They own their own banks. A.C. Neal, R.C. Neal, Wagner, all them own their own banks. C.T. Herring, he owned his own bank. But in 1904, C.T. Herring chartered as the Herring National Bank. That's why they just stamped across the C.T. Herring. There's over 100 yardsticks in here. None of them are the same. And then these cages, like I said, this one's all wood. That's how the Wagner Bank started out as the Cattlemen's and Merchants Bank. And then this is a Wagner, this is a Herring, and this Wagner Bank cage is in this picture. And this marble base right here is right there. You want to see jail cells?
Oh, yeah.
Let me lock you in there. We can't, I'm sorry, but we can't go upstairs because the storm blew through and messed it up. But we can look at the ones down here.
All right.
We're going to lock her up.
There you go. Then I'll be safe.
And throw away the key. I've just got the money together. Because see, I do this museum, I don't charge anybody. I do this museum on donations only. And so I do what I can. What's your step? So I finally got enough money together to put the heating and cooling back in. And there's a heater and cooler because I hadn't really turned it on. You can go ahead and go in.
Well, they had porcelain anyway.
Huh?
They had porcelain anyway.
Oh yeah.
That's fancy.
And right there you see the guard could walk. Now that guard could walk all the way around, even to this cell, and never step in one. I've had people say, what are you going to do if he reached out there and grabbed you? I said, he's not that stupid. He sticks his arm out there, you're just going to break it across the bars. You know, actually they have guys in here like upstairs, got fell downstairs accidentally, and then there was a Mexican group come in here, some kid voted, hung himself up there. And I don't know what kind of rituals they wanted to do, but I told them, I said, bring all your candles, all your stuff. They're not coming up and down. You go up there, I'm gonna close that door. You get through, you yell at me and I'll come let you out. But nobody's gonna bother you. I let them do whatever it is they do. So, if they purified him or whatever they did, I don't know. But, you know, I thought, well, they don't do it. They're kid folks.
Yeah.
So what I did so far on this end, like I say, I'm just now fixing to do stuff in this hall and off of them sales. But this one, I built a research center, and this is going to be good when I get through with it, where people can come in here and do their own research. I got a computer and a map, and then I've got all the city directories from now back to 1918. Full set. I have a set here. I have another set at home. It took me a long time to get sets together. Then over here, I've got a copying machine. But a lot of people just come in with a phone, take a book, take a picture of it. Don't need to copy it. I've got the school annuals. I'm missing one in the 40s, one in the 50s. I got all the 60s, all the 70s, and working on the 80s. That's all the Vernons, and I got the Lockets and North Sides. And so people can come in here and do their own research.
Right.
You know?
That's
And I do it all the time. Fact is, I was on the phone yesterday for a while, somebody up north, and I'm giving them a history. That's what they're looking for. I guess this is the only place you can get it. Because I had one come in here and went a little smart mouth says, if I want to know that, I'll just Google it. I said, I hate to tell you this, but the only thing in that computer a human had to put in there And that stuff hasn't been put in her yet, so you don't Google it. Now, what I'm gonna do this next year, hopefully, is get me a college student or a high school student or whatever that can get part of their credits to come in here and take those city directors and put them on there where they can Google it. I want it where they can do it.
That'd be a lot of work.
That'd be a lot of work, but to me, that'd be a good project for a student or students, you know?
Yeah.
So, this is gonna be kind of my pride yard because, like I say, this is gonna be something where people can hunt. I do it all the time, man. It's like they search and search, they can't find it anywhere else. This is it. Because I'll guarantee you, one way or the other, I'll find them. I had one woman, she wanted me to find her mother, and I said, you got to tell me everything. Don't hide nothing. She hauled around. She finally said, well, I heard my mother was a bootlegger. I said, well, I hope she wasn't too much in competition with my daddy. And boy, she loosened up. She told me everything. And I found her. I found her mama. Damn sure did. It was crazy.
There was
It
probably,
was kind of like Cousin Kente when he heard his name. You know, he was half asleep. And he goes, wakes up. Well, that's the way it was with her. I was searching, bam, there it was. It's crazy, but it's fun.
Right.
Nah. I'm gonna take that step out of there. I've got 3 more cases now that I'm gonna end up somewhere with. I wish we could go upstairs, but in here, this is the final room. And this is all the rodeos we had. Paul Wagner, he's the founder of the rodeos. And this is his horse stall, his ashtray, his director's badges, his Zippo with Poco Bueno on it, which is this horse. That horse right there made a lot of money. They buried that stud horse standing up at the entrance to the Zacawista Ranch. That was the stipulations. When that horse died, he was to be buried standing up. And then he's got a headstone that'll reach about right there, and it's all granite.
where is it at?
It's out there at the entrance to, when you're on the way to the lake, it's an entrance to the Zacawista Ranch, and it's right out there. You really can't hardly miss it, but this is E-Paul, and that's E-Paul when he was taking the parade through. I took a group through here a while back, and I pointed out that, I said, this is the Palomino Riding Club. At that time, they're carrying Texas flag now because of everybody raising cane. I said, and they carried this flag. I heard a woman behind me, I thought she was gonna pass out. She said, oh, the flag. I didn't even turn around and look at her. I said, if this flag truly offends you, the door's not very far from here.
Exactly.
And it was dead silent, boy. So anyways, I could tell she was staying. I said, I'm gonna change your mind about that flag. She says, I doubt it. I said, all right, this is a good friend of mine. Had the 5BB ranch. Bill Bond, he was the only one who would have wore this gaudy tie. And of course, this is the Palomino Riding Club. And you'll see the Palomino on the back of the shirt. And they are an impressive riding club, but I like them better when they're carrying the rebel flag. I try to explain that to people. That's not Confederate flag, it's a rebel flag.
That's what people don't
Their
understand.
history, they get their history confused.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I'm still wearing this, because they need to straighten out their history. This right here is every jewelry store that was ever in Vernon. All of them. I got good jewelry in there, man. I got sterling silver ring and earrings, as my uncle would have said, ear bobs. That's the difference. I have a good friend that has the world's largest bob wire collection. And then he told them pickers, he said, they said, barbed wire? He said, yeah, barbed wire. He was laughing, he started calling it bob wire to them. But this is a 66 Letterman's jacket. But that's a 1926. And then that one up there, that guy lettered 2 years, 29 and 30.
Hmm.
And those shoulder pads right over there are 1924s, the little leather ones.
Wasn't much to him back then.
Not much. I had his picture of his football team, and it was just a little old leather cap, and the little leather come over the ears, and that's it. And the little shoulder pads. This is all like, up here is that top one. This is Maroon White's Vernon, Northside, Okie Union, Harrell, and then you come down to Lockett. But you go back up to that green and white. That's the Vernon Vikings, semi-pro football team. And there's their picture, and there's the jersey. And then you go over here, it's the Vernon Dusters, semi-pro baseball team. And here they are, and there's their baseball right there, the Longhorn League. That little one says Vernon Dusters 1949, which they throw up in the stands for the kids. Now this is all World War I down here. They had a lot of horses, so that's a feed / water bucket. And then you come here and you start seeing the World War II. But then you get the Victory Field where they trained the Army Air Corps. This is the actual runway lights off of Victory Field, off of that runway. Then when you graduated, you got your book and your sterling silver wings, and then this goggle case right here is because they had open cockpits. So there's their planes, there's their hangars, and there's their barracks. Let me get you away. We also had the Ranchito Polo team. They flew these horses around the world. It's kind of like Big Boy's Toys. Paul Wagner, that was his toy, that rodeo. Fact is, they hauled those stands in from Ruidoso. They owned it too. Now, I was going to point out over here all the different programs. The people that were here, you'll look down here, you'll see Festus was here 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ferlin Husky. And there's read her name on the bottom. I'm going blank.
Oh, Tanya Tucker.
Tanya Tucker. She was just a kid when she was here.
I remember seeing Festus Parker, but I couldn't remember if it was here.
He was here 3 times though.
Or in Wichita.
You'll see him twice here. You see him here. There he is right there. And then again, he's over here.
Well, 1971, because see, back then, we went, my dad liked horses and rodeos.
Oh, I love rodeos.
We went to all of them around when I was a kid. And when me and my mom was talking about that the other day, I said, I remember seeing him, but I can't remember if it was at the Red River Arena there in Wichita, or here, or Archer City,
right,
Henrietta, Seymour.
Well, that picture right there is my mom and dad's. My dad's wearing that shirt, and my mom's carrying that rodeo program in 1954. And me and my wife had gone to a rodeo one night, and it was a drizzly rain. And when we got there, I took my truck that night, and when we got there, that sign right there, they had it thrown across a little mud hole, and they were walking on it. When we got ready to leave, we went to that dance, come out, and I looked over and that board still laying across that mud hole. I said, well, y'all get you going home with me. So I just put it in the back of the truck. Now you can see they've nailed it up. The horses chewed one side. They flipped it, nailed it up again. They used it over and over different times, but they flipped it because the horse chewed both sides. And of course, there's the helmet, and there's the ball from that Ranchito Polo. There's the ball and Buster Horton's spurs. You know, his son owned half the ranch. That's Buster Horton's spurs. Buster Horton signed the ball. And there's hamlets, their tickets, their brochures. And then this over here, I had that group I was telling you about with that lady. I said, all right, let's get back to that flag. There's the Palomino Riding Club. They carried that flag, and when they did their crisscross and all their maneuvers, they looked so good with that flag. It was just a lot of color. And I said, if me hanging that flag makes me racist, prejudiced, however you want to look at it, why did I put this black man on a pedestal in the same room? Pretty gutsy. And boy, she looked at me and she was smiling. I said, see, you earn your right being put on a pedestal. I don't give a damn what color you are. I said, this man sent 3 boys through college selling hot tamale on the street corner out of this cart. I hunted for that cart for 40 years. When I found it, I was through buying Vernon stuff. But they did a write-up on me in the Wichita Falls paper the first time. Nothing happened. 10 years later, they did another write-up on my collected, and I didn't have the museum then.
Right.
And the bottom line I did the first time and did that time was I was looking for this card. My phone rang, and the guy says, this is Michael Dean. I said, who? He said, Harvey Dean's son. I said, I'm listening. He said, I take the Wichita Falls paper online. I read where you thought so much of my dad and his business. I want you to have his wagon. I said, I'll come get it right now. Where are you? I thought it was Oklahoma somewhere.
Right.
And he said, so-and-so Arizona. I said, oh, God dang. He said, don't worry about it. Me and my brother's going to bring it to you. And they did. I said, the only thing I'm going to ask you, can I call a newspaper? He said, sure. But the thing was, my dad bought hot tamales from this man nearly seemed like every day. He carried a roll of Tums in his shirt pocket. My old man loves spicy foods. And I'm the same way, so I can't say nothing. But when we got the cart, my oldest son, the sign painter, he straightened up the letters and put this back on there, like the cart. That's all the painting we did on. Because over the years he'd gone up on the price. He slopped paint over that. See, I just ran, and he just never did put a price back on it. So when he went up, he just went up. And he had a stainless steel can in this end, and then he had a stack of brand new newspapers in this end. And he'd take them out of that stainless steel can. They'd be wrapped in the corn shucks, and then he'd take that newspaper and roll them up in it. They'd stay hot. He had it sitting on a fireless cooker bricks down here, which kept it hot all day. When he sold out, he wheeled this back down to Flats, filled it up back down to town. He worked till dark. That's the reason he painted it like this. When the headlights hit it, it would light up. And he carried that bell. If you was walking down the street over there, he'd just go clink, clink, literally. So you'd know he was there. Smart man. But, yeah. Look how he built it. The white boy would put an axle under there. But he used what he had. He bolted 2 front forks to that tank. Yeah. And that, I mean, he used pieces. You can see where he took down and you can tell it wobbled on him. So he had to go down and have this brace tacked on it. You built go-karts and junk when you was a kid. You know them old wheels that go to. Well, that's what happened to him.
Well, that's neat.
But yeah, his son has been here probably 3 or 4 times since I put it in here. And they said they were celebrating his mom's 101st birthday. Said they were sitting around after they had eaten, and they said, what are we going to do with Dad's hot tamale wagon? He said it wasn't 2 weeks later, and that article come out in the paper. He said, I know what we're going to do with it. It's going on. And there's it on. That's my pride and joy right there. As I like to say, I hunted for it for I did 40 years. I mean, walking out, and I ask everybody, well, do you have any idea what happened to that hot tamale wagon? Because I had no idea where it went. I thought, at one time I was nearly giving up thinking, well, kids joking with me. And because everybody knew I was hunting for it. But Anyway, it's hard for me to find out everything in here, but
A lot of stuff.
it,
People definitely need to come visit.
thank you. Look around all you want, go back through, take all the pictures you want.
Yeah.
You're certainly welcome.
Well, we appreciate it.
You bet.